My favorite thing about art is that I can express myself many different ways.
My favorite thing about art is painting.
My favorite part of art class is when we use watercolors.
My favorite part about art class is that I can create and enjoy the things that I like.
My favorite part about art class is working together with my friends and being creative.
My favorite part about art class is getting to study different artists and their techniques.
My favorite part about art class is definitely creating art around people and seeing what other people create as well.
My favorite part about art class is learning different textures of art.
I feel very welcome, and it's very warm, and my teacher, she's very welcoming.
My favorite part about art class is when I'm finished, because I can look at the final result and add the little details to make it look better.
I really like art and it feels good when I finish my art project.
My favorite thing about art class is the creativity that you could put on a piece of paper and draw, and nobody can tell you what you can or cannot draw.
We don't really have restrictions on our assignments. So we'll have a general theme or topic, but we really don't have a restriction on when it comes to making the actual art piece, because we can really use almost whatever we want. It just has to follow the theme.
I can express myself, and it makes it a lot easier for me to tell a story or tell my emotions.
My favorite thing about making art is being creative with different colors.
My favorite part about making art is we always do something new, and I always have fun.
My favorite thing about making art is the freedom it gives to be creative and express your feelings.
My favorite thing about making art is putting details into my drawings.
My favorite thing of making art is to create something from my imagination.
My favorite thing about making art is how much fun you can have with it. All the happy accidents that can happen, and just how genuinely cool it is to see colors mix and how everything comes together.
My favorite thing about making artwork is that you can express your feelings without telling them.
I spend most of my days thinking of new pieces and new things to draw. This all originates and stems from my childhood, which I would always come up with creative, imaginative scenarios. And learning later on that I could be the one to put these on paper, to draw them out, to create elaborate pieces was inspiring.
My favorite thing about making art is all the different mediums you can use and how all these different mediums affect your art and the outcome.
I'll draw like a character, and if the character looks happy or sad or mad, then that's how I'm feeling.
They have colors.
My favorite part about doing art is that I can express my feelings in the art.
My favorite thing about making art is being able to use different mediums and mix up different materials and things together to make a new artwork.
I use art as a way to express myself because you can't always go outside and be Marie Antoinette. You can't always go outside and be your own version of Eartha Kitt. And I feel like art is really a great way to do that. I always have this yearning and anxiety to be who I am inside, but in a lot of different circumstances, especially living in not the safest areas, it's not always a good idea. So I channel that frustration and that anger into art, and I'm able to be whoever I want to be.
I make art because I enjoy doing so, and because there's so many ways for someone to portray what they want in a single image. I love the process and the end result. I always feel better after I completed a piece.
I found inspiration by flowers outside my house and my family. The flowers were different, and I think that my family is different. Typically my little sister. I drew those flowers in her favorite colors because they reminded me of her.
I listen to music a lot. I have a playlist dedicated to it. It's mostly all classical songs, like just instruments and stuff, and I really enjoyed it, like because it doesn't have lyrics and just like the instruments, and it's very calming.
This particular art piece was inspired by the decorative face paintings in the African culture. Each color, stripe, circle, dot, and shape represents something different.
Can you tell me what you like that's the color blue, or anything about why you like the color blue? Do you know why?
Sometimes it's in the sky. When my teacher wanted to show me some of my different artworks, I really like the Picasso picture, so I tried one on my own.
My mom, she really loves to go outside and watch the birds. She has bird feeders, robins, blue jays, and everything. So I just thought of her when I was doing this.
I watched YouTube videos to help me draw. Then once I got older, I learned how to draw realistic people.
What inspired me to do this piece is the R&B singer Ari Lennox. She is a very beautiful woman with very unique features.
My favorite artist is Pablo Picasso because he's been one of my biggest inspirations.
I find inspiration in street art. When I would go to school, I would see a lot of art in the buildings, and that really stuck to me in art class then and now.
Some things that inspire me are pretty much anything in everyday life. Nature, sometimes civil rights problems, issues.
This art piece was inspired by someone I saw on Instagram, on the social media. They had the skin disease ever since they were little, and they came in the modeling industry. Many people who are in the modeling industry don't look like her, like she's different. So she won't get as looked at because many people don't like different. I like drawing other people from other cultures.
I tend to get inspiration from a variety of places, that being my own writing, social media, talking amongst other people, even reading comics that my favorite authors have written, or isolating myself and indulging in my own thoughts to think about what I've seen and learned throughout my lifetime.
All I do is listen to music, draw random sketches, and look at flowers and look at the colors that I might use for the art piece.
My inspiration stems from my grandfather because he is an excellent drawer, in which my mother has talent too that I believe was passed to me. I was inspired by everything that is and was going on from last year to this year, and the message is to just be aware.
My favorite thing about my artwork is that I can use my imagination to draw what I like, or what I think in my imagination. I don't really draw things related to the world or things that are actually in the world. I like to draw things that actually don't exist in the world.
About planets.
And what else?
The sun.
The one that have the house that's covered and got trees, it have people and houses.
My favorite part of my artwork is my snowman hat.
A leaf?
If you look at the stripe too, they're hearts. And the top ones are two. And if you look at the eyes, they're a circle, more than a human. And if you look at the top, it's triangle. And they make shapes. Heart shape, circle shape, and triangle shape.
When I was drawing a lion, I liked it and enjoyed it at the end because lion is my favorite animal.
The arts that got selected in the DIA was this drawing. And I also drew a wolf and a dragon.
I like how my style is and how it's unique from other art pieces. I focus a lot on if there's characters on the page, I focus on their expressions and the background a lot too.
My favorite part of my artwork is that how it means something truly meaningful to me.
This picture of art is a story of two brothers, Thor and Loki.
The story of the mask that I made represents a demon that had been stuck in the island and had to find some stuff to make a mask to hide his identity. Then he went searching, hunting, and tried to survive that island, far, far away from the world. I drew a future self-portrait of a nurse. I thought of a nurse because a few years ago I broke my leg and I had to go to the hospital, and I saw doctors and nurses. I didn't know how to draw a doctor, so I drew a nurse.
It's about a guy getting some water. It's so hot they need to get some water to survive this really hot desert. To get to they need to go.
For Casually Relaxed, the story is just a girl relaxing, being casual in her natural element. For Sky's the Limit, the story is how the sky is the limit. And when looking about all those buildings and businesses, you should be ambitious and follow your dreams.
So Hidden Eyes was about a woman who is Muslim. She's different, she's not like everyone else. She has a different religion. The way she does things is different. And I just really like to see different cultures. It inspires me to be different.
The reason why I chose that topic is because we see female body hair as ugly, disgusting, and like not natural, when we should be seeing in a different point of view as in beautiful and natural, because it comes out of our body, and we shouldn't be ashamed of it about having female body hair.
Originally, I didn't have any plans for Again and Again, but I remembered, hey, we spend most of our mornings every day in the bathroom repeating the same routine. Nothing changing, nothing different, and I wanted to convey that in a piece while the mirror is reminiscing on a happier, more lively past.
The message really behind my art, or this piece, is that life moves really fast and that if you don't stop and smell the roses sometimes, you could miss something.
It wasn't unbearable, but it had become so normal for me to feel so stressed out that I didn't notice until I panicked. It's not the same now as it was before. I've definitely gotten better since.
You can have the old English garden, you can have the big hat with the parasol and the beading and the embroidery. I just want to convey that to art, that you can do exactly what you want to do, and how you feel inside is you. All you have to do is be brave enough to do it.
When I was making this, I felt self-satisfaction because it's what I dreamt my dream house to look like.
I started by making just simple shapes like triangles and circles and squares, and then I just ended up making random shapes and cuts to the paper, and then I just ended up putting it on to the thing randomly to make it fit in.
This piece of art makes me feel very happy because I felt free to put the shapes and colors wherever I want.
Some thoughts and feelings that go through my head when I'm making art is, hope this turns out good, or I hope people like it, because it gives me something to work towards too when I'm doing my art.
Didn't really know when the work was finished. I just decided that I would be finished with it, because if I had kept going, I would have tried to perfect it, or I would have made it worse by just trying to be a perfectionist. So I decided to be satisfied with what I had.
I like to make rainbows and cars and trees and houses and butterflies and flowers and unicorns.
next I want to do in art is I want to do a picture of outer space.
My next art piece is gonna be a lizard.
Next, I would like to make something that happened in class that was really meaningful to me or in my home life.
My next art challenge is gonna be a hat that is kind of like a tree. It's gonna be with beautiful fancy leaves on it, and I might sell some hat to make some money and make more beautiful art and more hats that people can buy around the world.
For my next art project, I'd like to make a sculpture of Thor's hammer, and I'd really like to make a sculpture of Baby Yoda for my aunt.
Art has been a part of my life ever since I was a little girl. In the future, I see art being a part of my life because I want to be a fashion designer.
I see art fitting in my future and by opening my own gallery and putting my art and different artists.
I see art fitting into my future by improving and maybe making a living off of it.
I would put it in France, Paris specifically. It's like the country known for art. A lot of people go to there for that very reason, and it would not be a smart move not to put it there, and it would be a dream come true if that ever happens.
I want animation to be a part of my future because I don't really know what I want to do, and I just wanted to do something that I like, and I like to do art.
Art fitting into my future is me creating things for people so that it can help them. Like with art, I could make someone walk again and 3D print prosthetics and things like that.
I'm very thankful it was chosen. I really liked the piece and I worked really hard on it, and I hope you enjoy it too.
And thank you so much for having my artwork in the exhibition show. And bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay, bye and have a good day.
Goodbye and have a good day.
Thank you for listening. Again, my name is Meadow Williams, and have a good day.
What should I change about this artwork? Nothing. It's perfect as it is.